A win against the Milwaukee Bucks and lots of highlights in this one, including Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, dunking, throwing down. Fear the what? No, we don't fear anything.
No.
At least the Nuggets don't. Against the Milwaukee Bucks, Nikola Jokic dropping dimes, his 30th, that's right, 30th triple-double of the season. Christian Braun had a big night for Denver. Different players stepped up at different times, and ultimately that led to the home win here at Ball Arena, and winning tastes great. Presented by Miller Lite. Welcome to Nuggets Postgame Live, presented by your Front Range Toyota dealers. Katie Wingy, Chris Dempsey, celebrating and breaking down this Denver Nuggets victory over the Milwaukee Bucks. Is that the style of basketball that you want the Nuggets playing towards the end of the season?
Yes, absolutely right. You see what a huge difference Nikola Jokic makes. The points in the paint were the most since the game before he left. The field goal percentage was the highest since before he left. The points total, 127. It's the first time they've been over 120 since before he left. And so he just makes the Nuggets offense make a whole lot of sense. Plus, the production really pushes them ahead of Milwaukee here today.
So you're telling me Nikola Jokic is good at basketball? He makes an
he's
impact
pretty good.
when he's on the
He's
floor?
not bad.
Yeah, I feel like he does that. That's true. He is all in, presented by Ball Corporation, all in for the Nuggets, aluminum all in. Take a look at the stat line. Back like he never left.
Yeah.
Back like he never left. 39 points, 16 of 25 from the field, knocked down 3 3-pointers. 160th, yes, 160th triple-double of his career. He broke his own record for most triple-doubles in a single season. Tonight he was tied with himself at 29. Tonight was 30. What did you like?
Yeah, I loved everything. He walked right back in and just picked right up from where he left off. And he's just such a great player and just has such a positive. What a pass to Aaron Gordon right there. But his ability just to score from anywhere. It gets your field goal. It puts you in a position to make a lot of high percentage shots. And so not only is he creating it for himself because he's that good of a player, but he's also creating it for others. And so you're in a situation now where you're scoring a lot in the paint. You're altering the defense. You're sucking kind of the gravity of the defense is coming toward him. Now you're hitting 3-pointers on the backside of that. It's great to have him back, and you saw exactly every reason why.
It's beautiful to watch him play basketball. It's beautiful to watch him continue to make history night in and night out. You hear the fans chanting MVP because
he should win it.
He should win it.
Yeah, he should.
We don't know if he will, but he should. Let's take a look at our assist of the game. You pointed it out, Chris Dempsey. You gave the fans a little foreshadowing of what was to come. It's presented by Red Canary. Eyes in the back of his head. Third eye vision.
That pass is crazy.
I mean, it's just watching him play. I get asked often, does anything Nikola Jokic does surprise you anymore? Yeah, everything. All the time. There's a play in every game that Nikola Jokic makes that surprises all of us as basketball fans. And he sees things happen before they happen. Look at that pass.
Yeah, he threw that pass before he was even done turning, pirouetting. He's just brilliant. He really does remind me of Magic Johnson. That they are basically the same player from a vision, passing, delivering the basketball like that standpoint.
It's a family program. Only makes sense as the Nuggets get the win. 127-117. Let's hear from Coach Malone in tonight's Advent Health Coach's comments.
Talked about the down to the wire game that you predicted earlier, but what did you kind of like in terms of the team's response a couple times down the stretch when it got down to 3 or 4 points?
Yeah, they cut it to 3. I forget exactly what was on the clock. It seemed like every time we put a good stretch together, they just chip away, make a big shot, make a big 3. We'd have a breakdown here or there. And then I loved our response. I think we went on a 9-0 run. Tremendous offensive execution. We took our time. We were poised. We got what we wanted. To have 36 assists, only 10 turnovers is a great number. And to get 20 on transition to their 5, another great number. But, I liked our defense in the fourth quarter was by far our best defensive quarter, only 25 points. The second quarter obviously was 37 with a depleted roster. They had a lot of shooting out there, but sometimes you just got to stay with it. I think tonight was one of those games where you're working Nikola back in, who was outstanding, 39, 10, and 10. He broke his own record for most triple-doubles in a season, which is incredible. I thought CB was outstanding, 19, 10, and 6. Jamal, 6 assists, no turnovers. So a good win. Peyton Watson played really well. Aaron never got into a rhythm with the foul trouble, but Now we just got to turn the page and try to get ready for Utah and protect our home court.
It felt like there was a play you guys got that 5 and then in the corner, and Christian Braun just stole a rebound. I think from Lopez, ripped it off of it, went in and laid it up. And after that, that's when that just kicked everything into gear, it seemed like, for you guys.
Yeah, and that's who, CB is, right? I mean, he's a heart and hustle type of a guy, and just is relentless in his approach. I mean, tonight he played 38 minutes and impacted the game across on every stat. He was impacting the game in a positive way. So loved his energy and effort, and to come up with big baskets like that. He had a big one too. I think he got a tip dunk one time on a miss. So CB was great, and I think maybe that was our 21st time the whole year where we started that lineup, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. We have 8 games to go. A lot of things we can clean up, we can improve upon, but it was good to get a win after a tough loss against Chicago.
How encouraged were you to see MPJ's bounce back, and were those early shots by design? Because he got going early.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it pregame when I was in here, and obviously we knew that he had not been shooting the way we've become accustomed to seeing him, and I had zero doubt that he would find his rhythm because he's too good of a shooter. And it was great for him to get off to that start. 6 of 8 from 3, ultra efficient, 10 rebounds on top of it, 3 steals. Just had a complete basketball game. But, Michael's a really key part to this team. And when he gets going like that, and you know what you get in Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, we become a really tough team to guard.
What is first time in a couple of weeks that you guys have been, relatively healthy? What's the advantage of that, especially 8 games left in the regular season?
Well, it was hard to judge tonight because AG got the 2 quick ones, took him out, started him in the third quarter, started him in the second quarter, rather, and then he picked up his third right away. So he had zero rhythm in that first half. And then, second half, you sit a lot of the first half on the bench. But what I do know is when we are healthy, that lineup has won a lot of big games. They know what it takes on both ends of the floor. They know each other. They have, just great chemistry and confidence in one another. So that's what I like about that group with 8 games to go is that they've been through a lot of battles, and they've won a lot of battles. And we're going to need them to continue to play at a high level as we try to find a rhythm with that group going into the postseason.
10 turnovers, only 17 points off of turnovers, because you talked about that a couple weeks ago where it's not the number of turnovers, it's the points off of it. Yeah. With this one, when you guys play like that, when you don't allow them that kind of points per possession on turnovers, is the offense good enough to create a good enough margin for you guys, even if the defense isn't always where it needs to be?
That's a tough one, because the defense needs to be where it needs to be. And I know as we approach these games coming up and in the postseason, we just can't rely upon that offense. So it's great, to your point, Matt, when we don't turn the ball over. We have the number 4 or tied for 3rd offensive rating in the league. That will go up after tonight. And we were 2 for a long time, and we dropped, I think, while Nikola was out. So it's great to have that, to be first in assists, first in fast break, first in paint. A lot of the first in field goal percentage, awesome. Love it. But in the postseason, you're going to have to get stops. And so I just don't want to be a team that thinks we can outscore our teams and try to win a championship. I've never seen that done. And so defense has to be a part of the conversation.
The stats tell you that Nikola had a great game, but did you see a difference in him from the rest? And maybe can he benefit? Because we're never used to seeing him sit out this many games in a row. Can he maybe benefit? Did he look different from the rest in your mind?
Well, he had one move in the first half where I said, he faked the handoff, kept it, went down the lane and threw it down with 2 hands. And that I was like, wow, all right, I should hold him out, 10 days more often because he was outstanding. And that's the thing with it, and you guys all know this. I mean, he was banged up. Those games that he missed were not rest games. Those games were missed because his inability to go out there and play at the level he's capable of playing. But I did see a guy that looked rested, looked explosive, and looked as efficient and dominating as ever.
Last one, kids. 2 things.
Did you also see that from Nikola Jokic?
Yeah, but no doubt about it. And yeah, he did look a little bouncier too. I mean,
He did look bouncy.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, I think what Nikola's understanding as he gets older in his career is the benefit of resting. And look, he was injured, so this was not just rest. This was an injury situation. But the time off of your feet, the wear and tear that you're not taking out there on the basketball court matters. And so when he comes back today and is just bouncing all over the court, two-hand dunking and doing all the things, you know, sometimes you just need that little break. He got it. Hopefully he's healed enough that he doesn't have to take another one as they go into the playoffs, but he looked great from the start.
We talked about the law of averages in our pregame show. We talked about Michael Porter Jr. and how he went 1 for 10 against the Chicago Bulls. Tonight, 6 of 8 from the three-point line. It started with a Porter quarter.
Yeah.
How did you see his aggressiveness take over and his confidence come out?
Well, I think the thing that you love is after you go 1 for 10, the first thing you do is you shoot a three-pointer the very next game, and then you make it, and then you make your first 5 in a row. So you understand that Michael Porter is not a player that has low confidence. If he's going to have a game where he's not making the three-pointers in the way that he wants to make them, he's just going to tee it up and do it again the next game. And that's what he did today because he understands that that's going to even itself out. And if you're going to have that bad a shooting day, then you're probably going to come back and have this good of a shooting day, which he did, 6 for 8.
Jamal Murray called it too. He said, next game he'll just make all the shots.
Yeah, and he pretty much
Tonight
did.
He pretty much did that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take another break here on Nuggets Postgame Live. Rumor on the street, though, at some point during this postgame show, Christian Braun is coming up here. So we will hear from Christian Braun on his nights and what the Nuggets need to do the rest of the season. Welcome back to Nuggets Postgame Live. Here is our Toyota game recap. We go back to the first half right now. Christian Braun kicks out to Michael Porter Jr. And yeah, he had 2 threes in essentially the first 2 minutes of this game. A sight for sore eyes. Nikola Jokic back in action after missing 5 straight games. And yeah, he wants you to know that he's back.
Yeah, I mean, that's announcing it with emphatically for sure.
Nuggets offensively swinging around. Michael Porter Jr. steps in, knocks it down, ties a season high for three-pointers made in a first quarter with 4 of them. Russell Westbrook, savvy veteran defensive move right here. Great anticipation. Off and running in transition. To the second quarter now, where Aaron Gordon unfortunately picks up his 3rd foul. So a little bit of foul trouble for the Nuggets in the first half. Peyton Watson kind of slid in, filled in seamlessly for Aaron Gordon. Christian Braun, good defense to easy offense.
Yeah, and it's easy. When you're going to lob it up to Peyton Watson, he knows exactly what to do with it.
Brook Lopez was a problem for the Nuggets this game, particularly in the first half. Good offensive rebound, goes up strong. He had 20 points in the first half alone. Nikola Jokic, no one's going to guard me? Cool.
That you would leave the 3-time MVP just standing all alone.
It is wild, but
at
it's
the
wild.
3-point line.
We head to the second half now where Jamal Murray will get us going. He had the first 5 points for the Denver Nuggets, including this 3-pointer right here.
And it really looked like they wanted to get him really involved in that game, especially early in that third quarter.
Quiet in the audience for what we're about to witness.
Yeah. That's just
gorgeous.
Sick. That's just sick. It's also the synergy that Aaron Gordon has. I mean, they just understand where each other is, and then he can just deliver that pass anytime he wants.
Next level vision from Nikola Jokic. The Bucks, they're not going to go down without a fight, though. Gary Trent Jr. knocks it down from deep, causes the Nuggets to call a timeout in the third. Christian Braun winning plays for CB in the third quarter.
Yeah, he was playing the gaps and just stealing passes and getting it straight downhill.
Well, let me show you another one. Takeover mode. Full beast mode. Put back with the flex.
9 points in the third quarter for Christian Braun.
Gary Trent Jr. has an answer from 3 again. Knocks it down. Again, keeps it close. That was the 15th made 3 for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. A little spin cycle action here from Nikola Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Leads to a wide open layup.
Yeah, he gets a big on this every single night.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him. Yeah, Lopez can't believe it.
Yeah, he's just like, what is this?
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. surveying here, finds Nikola Jokic inside. Great positioning. Battles through the physicality. Doc Rivers is unhappy.
Yeah, he's actually mad that his
A previous play, it's fine. We won't get into it. We won't get into it. Great kick out, Michael Porter Jr. The fine from Jamal Murray. Again, Michael Porter Jr. knocking it down from deep. 6 made threes from him. Huge make at that point of the game, too. This pretty much does it for the Nuggets. Seals the deal.
Yeah, just put a period on this game.
Stamp.
Yeah.
Win. The end. Let's get to our Chevy postgame stats for you right now. Nikola Jokic, so good to have him back. It led to the Nuggets getting a 10-point win over the Milwaukee Bucks. The 3-point shooting, you mentioned, exactly the same.
Yeah.
For both teams. The fast break points, 20-5 in favor of the Denver Nuggets. Only 10 turnovers to 36 assists.
Yeah, and they had the majority of those turnovers in the first half, which means in the second half they did a whole lot better in that area, as well as the offensive rebounding, which was, Milwaukee was getting a few of those in the first half. They were getting almost none in the second half. When you look at that right side of the ledger here, first of all, 16 three-pointers is the most they've made in the game in a long time.
Yep.
So that's definitely helping you. Rebounding, they did well too. I mean, this is just exactly what you get when you get, all your guys back and your starting unit back intact for the first time in a long time.
Could be start of just what the Denver Nuggets need in the final 8 games of the season. As we go to break, let's go inside the Nuggets locker room and hear head coach Michael Malone address his team.
Hey, fellas, good win. Obviously, down the stretch, big stops. We closed 9-2. Good offensive execution. Got stops when we needed to it. Joker, 39, 10, and 10 in your return. Great job. CB, 19, 10, and 6. And just a lot of really good decisions down the stretch. Jamal, 6 assists, no turnovers. We had 36 assists for the game and only 10 turnovers, which is a great ratio. And we outscored them 20-5 on the break. Get some rest. Let's get Utah. Then we got a little bit of a reprieve before our final push. All right, bring it in, fellas.
We've been talking about consistency when it comes to Peyton Watson's play, and he has been just that the last handful of games. 12 points, 7 rebounds tonight, and an efficient 6 of 8 from the field. How are you seeing him find himself, Demps?
Well, I think that's kind of it. He's not getting outside himself. If you look at Peyton Watson's shot chart from today, not a single shot outside the paint, not one. And so when you're talking about that, and half his points, 6 of the 12, were fast break points. This is exactly the Peyton Watson wheelhouse, right? It's points in the paint, it's points in transition, and then it's block shots and all the defense that he provides as well. So, we talked about him pregame, coming off the 24-point performance against the Chicago Bulls, and now you're talking about a player really understands who he is and never needs to get outside of that to have a successful game.
He is in the locker room with Vic Lombardi. Let's hear from Peyton Watson.
I've asked people this before. When you're playing a team that's missing its stars, what's the challenge? Why is it so hard playing a team like that?
I mean, it's hard playing anybody in the NBA. Everybody's good, you don't just get here by luck. So they shout out to their guys that played really, really well, really hard too. Obviously they're missing 2 all-time greats, so it's always hard to win without those guys, but they came out and they did a good job regardless, but I'm glad we came out with the win.
How fresh did the big fella look? That dunk he had, I think he had a 40-inch vertical, maybe 42.
Yeah, no, he's bouncy. He's bouncy for sure. Bouncy, more athletic than people think, no doubt.
Any surprise that he comes back after a week off and throws a 37-10-10 up there?
Nah, not surprising at all. I mean, it looked like everything was in flow. He didn't force anything. He just played his natural game and helped us win a ball game. So we're glad to have him back.
All right, 8 games to go, Peyton. What is the focus of this team? What do you got to focus on down the stretch?
Just doing the right things regardless. We're going to win games. We're going to lose games. But I think it's all about building the right habits and us, doing the right things going into the playoffs. So that way we've already established some discipline and some good habits on our team.
How much pride do you take when you have an opportunity to be out there kind of in closing lineups in those kinds of minutes at the end of the game?
I definitely take pride in that, especially executing down the stretch offensively and defensively is something that I take as a huge responsibility and I take it seriously. So I was definitely happy to, get that time and be out there with my dogs.
People were giving CB a hard time for not passing on the break at one point. Recently, were you surprised that he threw the lob to you?
Not at all. CB, he makes the play that he sees in front of him. He's one of the best transition players in the league. So you can never fault him for, trying his luck at the rim either. But, you know, that's my guy. And, you know, we've had some good plays like that throughout practice and kind of, you know, in a few games. So I knew that he was capable. I was just ready for whatever happened.
You were coming down half court doing this. You were doing this at half court.
I wanted it for sure. I wanted it. I'm never going to act like I don't want that ball. But, you know, if he didn't throw it to me, it wouldn't be no bad blood whatsoever.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Time now to see what's at stake, brought to you by STK Steakhouse, and it is the Western Conference standings. Once again, the Lakers tonight win on a tip-in from LeBron James against the Indiana Pacers, so things stay the same there as the Nuggets also win.
Yep.
Still a game and a half back of the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, it's a good spot to be in, the number 3 seed. Look, if the playoffs started today, your opponent would be the Clippers in the first round, and then you'd be on the same side as the Houston Rockets in the second round for a potential matchup. So I just think that that's a great place to be. The Nuggets are going to have to keep winning to keep themselves in that spot.
All right, we're going to take another break here on Nuggets Postgame Live. When we come back, I'm hurt. I was told.
Yep.
Hearing he's on his way.
Okay.
So Christian Braun is going to join the program when we come back here on Nuggets Postgame Live. Double-double for CB. 19 points, 10 rebounds. We'll talk to him about it. Christian Braun tonight, 19 points, 10 rebounds, injected energy into the game in the third quarter. Debs, I'm going to put you on the spot. What did you like most about Christian Braun's performance tonight?
I like that. I like that shot right there. Nah, you know, the thing that I love about Christian is, look, everything, we know what he brings to the court every single night. It's going to be defense. It's going to be offensive here. He's going to get straight to the rim. He's going to knock in some 3-point shots. You know, I said super early in this season that I hope that you would be in the conversation for most improved player because I just thought of the world of what you have put on the basketball court. But what you did tonight, and we didn't even mention 6 assists, 2 steals as well.
I didn't mean to short you like that.
What's up, Katie? No,
my bad.
But just talk about your game tonight and how you were able to kind of get done what you got done on the court.
I think I was just open a lot. I think having Yoke back, we kind of got naturally back to our spots. We had everybody healthy tonight, so we had some stuff we got to tighten up. But just having Yoke back kind of puts everybody back, you know, in their natural position and where, you know, you're most comfortable.
You mentioned Yoke, and I know we ask you questions about him all the time, but he had his 30th triple-double of the season tonight. Franchise record, beat his own record at 29.
Yeah.
How do you not take his greatness for granted?
I think you just like watch his approach and, you know, appreciate that you do see him every night. And that's something that, you know, not every team gets to see their superstar play. It seems like every single night, you know, he's only missed 4 or 5 games. It seems, or a little more than that this year, but, it's just amazing to watch him, you know, do it every single night. He approaches the game the right way. He loves to win. You know, that's what matters to him most. He doesn't really care that he's getting triple doubles. He cares about winning. You know, and that's the most amazing part about it. So, you know, just trying not to take it for granted that literally every night it seems like he gets 40, 10, and 10, or, you know, something like, you know, like that stat line that most franchises will never get to see, you know, throughout a whole season. So, it's just amazing to watch, but, he does it the right way and he does it while trying to win every night.
Yeah, beyond those stats, you talked about everything kind of being slotted back in. Could you explain, what that means in terms of, how everything revolves around him the right way?
We just kind of have built a system, even before I got here, and they've kind of played the same way with the 2-man game with Jamal and with Yoke, and then everybody kind of has spots. Aaron kind of fills the dunker spot, and this year he's shooting it really well. So I've been in the dunker spot a little bit, and he's been on the 3-point line. But with Yoke and Maul healthy, everybody kind of has a spot. You know, if Aaron's out, Peyton slides into, you know, Aaron's dunker spot, you know, kind of role. And that's just the, you know, the culture they built, the system they built, like I said, before we got here or before I got here. So it just kind of puts everybody, you know, you get drafted to the team because of your skill set. And because of how you fit, you know, alongside those 2 guys and alongside now Michael and Aaron too. So you get drafted for that reason. And when one guy's out, you know, your skill set's supposed to fill that, you know, that void. So, everybody kind of gets, put, you know, in a spot where they're supposed to play well, and where they're comfortable making plays, that they've made their whole life or their whole career. So, you're drafted for that reason to fit around those guys, and you're just more comfortable when you're shooting wide open shots. You're getting easy layups, and then, you know, your whole game kind of comes out after that.
You've been on the receiving end of great Nikola Jokic passes. Aaron Gordon in that dunker spot. He had one tonight. Yeah. We're going to show the play right now. I want you to explain what you think Nikola Jokic saw in this scenario and what it's like receiving a pass like this.
I mean, that's a good pass. I don't think it was one of his best ones because he did look. Sometimes he has ones where he doesn't even look. But it's amazing. Like I said, this is exactly what I was talking about with your spots. Aaron, so used to be in that dunker spot playing off Yoke. But the reason,
Lopez, man.
Yeah, the reason they're confused is because Michael's shooting the ball so well in the corner. So, he can't help off Mike. And then Aaron just kind of plays off Yoke. And that's what we've been so good at for, so many years now. But like I said, it was a good pass, but I wasn't.
They think it's the people think it's sorcery.
I wasn't as impressed.
I would just like to remind everyone that I just asked you, how do you not take Nikola Jokic for granted? And you don't think that was a great pass.
Well, maybe that's exactly what you're saying, but he's done that so many times. I've seen it so many times. Like I said, he peeked out, over his shoulder, so I don't know if that really counts. Just being honest.
8 games to go. What do you want to see out of this basketball team?
I think we gotta tighten up stuff defensively. I think that's a lot of teams have things to tighten up, but defensively, we got some screws that we have to tighten, some habits that we have to break in these last 8 games going into the playoffs. It's not perfect for anybody, but I think that now that we're back healthy and we have guys in the lineup, we need to really turn it on. We need to make sure that we're building the right habits and playing our best ball going into the playoffs. I think that's really important. Maybe confidence-wise, but just knowing, we're back on our spots offensively, but defensively we got to be a lot better. And it seems like we have this talk, pretty often. But I know that with our personnel and with our coaching, we're going to get there. We're going to be exactly where we need to be, when we need to be. And I have, full belief in this team, full belief in the coaching staff, that they're going to put us in the right spots and that the guys are going to put the right emphasis on that end of the ball.
Since we have you here, there was a social media interaction between you and DeAndre Jordan that happened recently. Yeah. And I have to ask you about it. First of all, this was hilarious of DeAndre Jordan to put this on Instagram. You're funny, thanks, I've shot an air ball in front of 20,000 people, to which you commented on and put him on blast a little bit and said multiple times, big bro.
I mean, you would think he would be used to it at this point, and everybody has, to be honest. I'm not saying that I haven't airballed in front of a lot of people, but it happens, and it is funny that he would put that out there. And that's kind of the guy he is, he can take that stuff. So it was pretty funny. And honestly, I don't even know if he saw it. I don't know if he's on his Instagram as much anymore, if he knows how to work it or whatever it is. We didn't talk about it, so I don't know.
You haven't talked about it at all?
I said I don't know if he saw it.
He's not 87.
He's up there.
He's up there.
3,631 people saw it and liked it. So
funny guy.
It also kind of speaks to and you spoke to this, I think, after the last game, how close the team is. Yeah. Talk about that dynamic and what that does for a team when you are as close as you guys are.
Yeah, that's never really been a problem for us since we've been here. We've had, the organization, like I said before I got here, kind of built a culture, really good dudes that play the right way, and starts with the yoke. It starts with the yoke and trickles down, and all the guys, the coaching staff are full of good people. We don't bring guys in the locker room, that are bad people. So we don't ever have that problem. And that's part of, like you said, it kind of helps us out that we never have to deal with, negative energy or, just any bad people that, could divide a locker room. So we've never had that problem, and I don't think we ever will. But it definitely helps. And like I said, that's why I have so much belief in this team, because we want to win for each other. And I know that, like I said, we haven't been perfectly healthy all year, but we are getting there. And once we do get there, I have full belief that this team will buy in for each other and want to win.
Christian, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Coming on
Thank
the
you,
show.
guys.
Congrats on the win. Great double-double performance tonight. We're going to let you go because we have to finish this segment right now. So thank you, CB. The fans love you. Nuggets Nation love you. We're going to take a look at what the Nuggets have coming up on the path to victory. Next game is against the Jazz on Friday, followed by a little bit of a break for the Nuggets. They'll get 3 days off, which at this point of the season is kind of unheard of.
It's huge.
And then they'll face the Minnesota Timberwolves, the San Antonio Spurs to round out this homestand, and then the Golden State Warriors on the road, followed by the Pacers back at home.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting schedule. The Jazz, you got to take care of business there. And then you get a break. They're in a stretch where there are teams with games in hand on the Nuggets because the Nuggets have played such a packed schedule. So they'll get, I think, 3 days off before that Tuesday game as we watch Christian Braun.
We've officially lost the crowd. So we're going to say goodnight here on Nuggets Postgame Live. Christian Braun, we're so grateful for him coming on the show, signing some autographs for our audience, for the fans. And that's going to do it for Nuggets Postgame Live.
Bye.
Good night to everyone watching at home. The Denver Nuggets get the win over the Milwaukee Bucks, 127-117. The final, the Nuggets are now 24-12 at home. 8 games to go for the Denver Nuggets. We will have your coverage of the next one on Friday against the Utah Jazz. It'll start at 6 p.m. right here on Altitude. For